Hello, dear students. Welcome to another episode of In Conversation series. I'm extremely happy to present to you Ashok Kumar from Mountain View, California, currently working with Google. Ashok Kumar, a student from my Bangalore and Hyderabad days of IIT JEE coaching, is currently working as staff software engineer at the Google headquarters in Mountain View, California. Very happy to catch him during this Thanksgiving holiday season of 2020. And currently, I'm catching him when he's visiting his brother in Chicago. He has traveled from California to Chicago during this Thanksgiving to be with his brother, and have thankfully got him for a few minutes so that we can speak about his preparation days of IIT JEE and what he has to tell our students at the physics chamber. I'm very happy to introduce Ashok Kumar. He has secured an All India rank of 63 in IIT JEE of 2010. That is All India rank of 63 out of lakhs and lakhs of students, my dear students. All the students at the physics chamber is very, very familiar with your name, Ashok. They have been waiting to see you on screen for a long time. And I've been telling them that I will get you on screen somehow this year. And thankfully, we have an opportunity to meet right now. Ashok Kumar is from Hyderabad in India. And after getting selected into the IIT Bombay, he joined Google from campus. And ever since, he has been working there. We are going on a very free-riding discussion, or like a teacher-student discussion from our earlier days. And I hope, my dear students, you will enjoy this. Welcome, Ashok, to the show.
Thank you so much, sir, for the introduction. It is an honor to have this conversation with you, and I hope today's discussion will help some of your students and a lot of other students.
Definitely, Ashok. It will definitely be a great motivation for all our students and everybody who is watching this channel also. My first question would be, Ashok, when did you, you wrote IIT JEE in 2010, and your performance of the All India rank of 63 is still my personal best in a student. And so therefore, let me ask you, when did you, which means you are a 2008 to 10 IIT preparation student. When did you start preparing for IIT JEE, or for a start, when did you actually hear about IIT JEE? When did you get the interest to write the IIT JEE examination, etc.?
To be honest, I came to know about IIT JEE only when I was in 10th class, sir. Until then, I didn't have much idea what IIT was. I was thinking in a different direction at that time to go into public services, etc. But then in 10th class, I realized that my true passion was in mathematics and physics. I really like numbers and playing with them. And I sometimes go to my seniors and ask them, hey guys, can you explain me this concept or that concept? And I'm so grateful that they were generous enough to explain me some of the concepts that they are learning in their 11th and 12th classes and throw some problems at me to solve. And that helped me gain an edge and move faster.
Great, Ashok. That's nice to see. So students, compared to our students of the current era, where students are probably focused on the NEET and JEE right from 7th standard onwards, well, we have a student who actually heard about IIT in class 10 and then actually cracked it. So it is a real inspiration that if you are currently thinking about JEE preparations hard enough, then you have a real senior to really look up to. Next question to ask you would be, Ashok, do you think that those 2 years when you really prepared for the JEE, do you think that you really worked hard, or was it a so-so kind of an approach?
I think so. I really enjoyed the process of learning and taking tests so much that I did not feel that I'm putting hard work or I'm doing any work. I really enjoyed the process itself. But yeah, I spent a lot of time solving problems from various textbooks, study material, and I even went to solve problems from magazines like Physics Today, Chemistry Today, or Mathematics Today, etc. And in addition, I found various ways to optimize my time to align with the school's activities. For example, in our school, we used to have physical PET, physical exercise and training, where I used to take a problem in my head and try to solve the problem when I was doing the morning jog. Or when I am in the queue for something, I have a small paper and always carried a pen and paper with me. And I used to solve some of the problems on paper while I was in the queue. So that helped me make use of a lot of the time. And as I said, I truly enjoyed that process of learning and writing tests, etc. That did not make it seem very hard to me at that time.
All right. Good, Ashok. So students, each of these queries that we are posing to Ashok is basically from the perspective of you listening to him and then taking some cues out of the way a top ranker has actually worked during those 2 years. Next, I would like to ask, how did you actually focus during your 11th and 12th? Did you have time to watch movies? Did you go, play video games and things like that?
Uh, okay, so there are two parts to the question, right? So you said time management and then playing games. Let me start with the first one. I still remember what one of my chemistry teacher used to say at that time. He said, rest means change of subject. What he meant there was, don't take rest, always keep preparing. And if you're bored of chemistry, move to physics. If you're bored of physics, move to mathematics. And if you're bored of mathematics, move to chemistry. So it's like a cycle. And I think that particular phrase, what he told at that time, it got ingrained in me so much that I enforced it in my daily routine. If I'm bored of maths, I move to physics and then move to chemistry and so on. And another reason for my motivation is that I came from a humble and poor family, and I always wanted to see my family in a better position and keep my parents happy. And that motivated me all the time to focus. And regarding the entertainment part, I rarely watched TV at that time. And first of all, it was in my school, it was not easy to get access to TV, and mobile phones are banned at that time. You have to go and talk to a teacher and and get connected to your parents on a week on Sunday or like once a month. So mobile phones are way off, and TV I was not particularly interested. Maybe I watched for a couple of minutes in a week or month, but I feel that that was like a positive thing, that I was away from all these distractions. But like nowadays I see a lot of people, students carrying mobile phones, and sometimes I get scared if they are being used in the proper way or not.
All right. Thank you, Ashok. So students, we need to understand that Ashok's preparation happened during the period of 2008 to 10. It's not prehistoric, but not exactly the kind of bandwidths that we enjoy right now. Right now, we take things like 100 Mbps speed, etc., for granted. Those are the times when the apps had just started coming into the market. I mean, the bandwidth itself was a challenge at that time. So it is not like the smartphones had not exactly become the norm at that time. So let me ask you this today, Ashok. These are all for our future aspirants of the JEE at the physics chamber and NEET, JEE and NEET. You are actually addressing a bunch of extremely motivated students at the physics chamber who are preparing from class 7 onwards for NEET and JEE, these two competitive examinations. And one thing I can assure you that you are addressing very, very motivated students, where they will really lap up every single word that you say, because they really would like to hear from achievers in their own fields. So now let me ask you, how important would you say is systematic regular work for an exam like NEET and JEE?
I think having a routine will definitely make it easy to stick to it. Like if you don't have a specific routine, there are like lot of distractions that can come in the way, and having a strict routine will make it easy for you to follow. I almost maintained a very strict routine for like I had like one main motto like waste no time and take enough rest to rejuvenate in the night and then enjoy the process of learning. And like basically I divided my day into different segments. There are like times when I have to attend classes and there are times when I have to do self study. And coming to self study, I organized in such a way that I uh, I don't get bored or I don't get distracted very easily. So, for example, when I wake up in the morning, I start with mathematics because it, like thinking logically, will take me out of the drowsiness and makes me lose the sleep uh, because of the calculations and logical thinking. And after solving one or two problems, then I moved to chemistry, which involves remembering stuff, especially in inorganic chemistry or organic chemistry. I had to remember a lot of things. And I think it was a good idea for me to do it in the morning, the remembering part. And during the day, I practice physics. And when I'm sleepy again during the day, like let's say after lunch or after dinner, I again move back to mathematics. And also everyone's system is different. Like what worked for me might not work for everyone. The routine I found useful is after certain experimentation. So I really encourage everyone to experiment and see what sticks with you, what is something that you can do every day. And once you explore different ways and you figure out like, hey, this is what I can do, then stick to that routine and it will be the most efficient. Or let's say in terms of learning progression, right? uh, I'll figure out how much I understand. For example, like when there is a new topic, completely new topic, I go from the most basic things and take incremental steps to the toughest problems. For example, in physics, I start reading HC Verma for theory, and then I solve some example problems that are within the textbook, right? And there are some example problems in between the text in HC Verma, and then I move on to other book called DC Pandey, which I know that it's a little bit higher level, and then I try to solve some problems there, and then I solve even advanced problems. But when I jumped directly into advanced problems, sometimes I was little disappointed. So I set up this process in a systematic way to start from basics and then make incremental progressions to the advanced level.
All right. It's very good that you brought up those names of H.C. Verma sir, etc. Just for your information, Ashok, right now at the physics chamber, H.C. Verma sir's material is our prescribed study material for all the students. And in the H.C. Verma sir's Concepts of Physics Volume 1 and Volume 2, we have created replica questions of the entire material so that we give much more practice for the students also. Now, talking about physics, physics is everybody's nightmare. So, would you say that it was the same for you also?
Yes, sir, definitely. Physics was the hardest for me. I was like so scared of physics. I think one probable reason at that time is that our physics faculty kept changing, and and it is actually hard to find a really good physics teacher in general. And another reason that it got harder is because those concepts are pretty new to me. I was not exposed to thinking in that direction before. Like, for example, physics gives structure to the things around us. It gives reason behind how the physical world around us works. But I was pretty naive to understand or question these things around me. For example, when I heard about projectile motion, that was like I think that was the first chapter when I got started. It was completely over my mental capacity to understand. It took me several readings and problem solving exercises to get some understanding. But I think once you understand the core concepts, I felt like physics is very sweet. Like I can see it in my daily life, so much that, okay, there is a leaf that is falling. Why is it falling? And then I realize, oh, that is due to gravity. And then I see that, oh, if a rock fell from that same tree and a leaf is falling, like rock falls faster and leaf falls slower. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, oh, that is coming from the viscosity and air drag, etc. Or if I fall forward when there was a sudden break in the bus, that is due to inertia. Like once you know these things, and once you see these things around you, you will appreciate physics more. And like physics can give you a mathematical model to the underlying laws there. And I think you will like it more when you see it in your real life as well, when there are like one-to-one mapping between like what you are studying and what you can see it in your real life. But before that it was difficult, but after I saw these things around me, like I really liked physics more and more.
Great, Ashok. So from your experience, from your days, uh, the would you say that somebody who has an advantage or has a good competitive advantage in physics will tend to do better in JE exam?
Yes, sir, definitely. Like one thing to keep in mind is that JEE is a relative exam, right? It's not an absolute exam. And in general, physics is hard for people. And if you can excel in physics, then you have an edge over other people, and it'll help you get better rank.
All right, good. So, students, you have heard from uh, the topper in one of those years. It's a known fact that physics is a tough subject for the majority of the students, and therefore, if you get a little extra edge in physics, the competitive advantage is going to be huge. So, Ashok, in that context, let me ask you: do you remember a particular math problem that I discussed in your class at that time, which I think it involved a concept of maxima and minima and number game kind of a thing. Do you recollect
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I actually remember that. And sometimes when I go and talk with students who are preparing for JEE right now, I use the same game I had to play with them. So like should I tell that game here?
No. Because
Okay.
our students very clearly know the game.
Okay.
I just asked this question only to highlight the fact that something which I asked you, let us say something like almost 12 years back, is still fresh in your memory. Because some of these things, I tell my students that some of these things, if you learn it with that intensity, you will not forget it for 25 years.
Yeah.
Meaning, practically, it is very difficult to erase it from your memory. Would you agree that?
Yeah, I totally agree, sir. Like things when you learn with some examples or with some in a game or a fun mode, I think that will stick to your brain longer than what you study at like without just from the textbook, right? Like after 12 years, I still remember that game and I still play, and it's like a simple thing. It's like a simple concept, like that maxima minima, right? And then we use that
Exactly.
to like that is like the backbone of the game, right? And like a lot of other things I don't remember now, like after 12 years, but some of these things I remember because, and especially I remember most of the physics things coincidentally, because I see it
That's
everywhere.
very.
I'm like, oh, there is light here. Why is light coming? Oh, I see a rainbow. Like, why is rainbow happening? Like, what is the concept there? Or like, let's say there is concept like surface tension, right? Or why do like where does tree get water from? Like, how does tree get water from its roots, right? Like gravity is pulling downwards. How does the leaf at the top get water? Like what physical concepts are applicable there, right? Like there is some kind like surface tension that will pull out each water molecule to the leaf from the root.
Yes. Great. So students, look at this. Somebody who topped the JEE examination 12 years back still remembers lots of physics from our teaching days. Uh, it is very clear that if you apply your mind and then learn, you will remember stuff for a long time. So when I say things like you will not forget this for the next 25 years in class, I hope now you understand. Now we have reached 12 years of this with a live example in front of you. And I'm sure that Ashok will not forget this for the next 25 years also. Now, what specific advice, Ashok, would you like to give students of the physics chamber who are preparing for NEET and JEE? They are young, motivated, and they are all willing to work hard. So, what kind of advice would you like to give them?
Yeah, I think like having the motivation is like one core thing that is definitely needed to clear like some tough exams like this, right? Like I would say prepare well for the exam. And this actually reminds me of what one of my chemistry teacher told when I was in like ninth and 10th class. Said like talent may fail, but hard work never fails. And that stuck me in my mind. That is also something that I always keep in mind, and I always give my best effort in whatever thing I do. And I have seen a lot of people more talented than me, and I was so lucky to be around them. But some of them did not put in enough work and utilize the talent. So, and also I would say success is your talent and your hard work and a little bit of luck. And hard work is something that is in your hands, and like make use of the time you have, and the more time you have, that is good for you, and you can learn more things, and also have the urge to learn and have a motivating reason which you can remind yourself every day, because the journey is long. It's not one day or 2 days. You need to put this effort constantly for a long time. So ensure that you are enjoying this process, the process of learning, and that way it doesn't seem stressful for a long time.
Great, great, Ashok. Now let's quickly take you back to your IIT Bombay days. I'm sure you had fantastic experience in IIT Bombay. Can you just take us through a short journey of your remembering your IIT Bombay days?
Uh, IIT was great. I really like I didn't have any expectations, to be honest. When I went there, I didn't know what to expect. Like I still remember on the first day I went to a bookstall near the college just outside, and I just went and asked like, "Hey, can you give me the textbooks for first year computer science?" And then that person looked at me weirdly and he said, "No, we don't do that here. Your teacher will recommend you some books, and you tell us what book you want and by which author, and then we can give you." So I didn't like, what I'm trying to tell is I did not know much about IIT, like how IIT life would be, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was filled with brilliant minds there, and I made wonderful friends during those 4 years. And I think the environment there was very good to nurture your personal and professional skills. And the college provides a great platform for whatever you want to do. And having smart people around you makes you smarter. Like I don't know if you have heard of this saying that you are like the average of five people around you, and having like smart people around you will make you smarter. You will learn some of their stuff, like how they think, etc. And the college environment sometimes pushes you out of your comfort zone to try out new things. And in addition, one perk I really liked studying in IIT was that we had both Saturdays and Sundays off, which was not the case in local colleges. So I used to brag with my friends that, hey, we have Saturday and Sunday, both holidays.
That's very good. That's very good. Now, quickly jumping on to from IIT straight to Mountain View, California. How is your experience currently working at Google headquarters?
It is really an honor to work for Google. IIT Bombay exposed me to the best minds in the country, and Google exposed me to the best minds in the world in the tech space. And like you have so sharp minds around you who started programming when they were like in their early ages, in their life, right? And they were exposed to internet, they were exposed to computers when they were small, right? And having these people around, like, I think it can open up your mind to how they think, and you can learn a lot of things from them. And I took that as a learning opportunity to learn from people around me. And in addition, Google has a lot of perks like Google Food or holiday gifts or team outings and a lot more. It was like really overwhelming experience for me when I joined Google to know about all these things. And I really like Google's mission, which is to make world's information accessible to everyone. I think it is a wonderful mission, and then and I'm really proud to be part of that.
Very, very happy to hear somebody really being proud of the not just the company, but the mission that the company is part of. So this particular question, several of my students have personally asked me that I should ask you, is that have you had a personal meeting with Sundar Pichai?
No, sir. I did not meet him in person. But Google has this tradition of having company-wide meetings every week, where the leadership of the company, like Sundar Pichai and the founders Larry and Sergey, they take questions from the employees. And I attended a couple of those meetings, um, and I saw them yeah, they were on the stage, and I was in the audience. Yeah, that is the closest I got to Sundar Pichai, I guess.
All right, that's good. But then having such people around in your same campus all the time is going to be a huge motivation for you also to work, right?
Yeah, definitely, sir. I think like like the people around me, like I feel very lucky to have such sharp minds around me, and that gives me a learning opportunity, and it makes me humble that I don't know a lot of things, and I have a lot of things to learn.
Great. Now, one last question about your current hobbies, interests, etc. How do you spend time outside Google work?
Yeah, outside work, I do a couple of things to keep my uh, physical fitness and mental fitness. For physical fitness, I do jogging or walking almost every day, and that keeps me active. And then to keep my brain active, I read books and blogs ranging from psychology, philosophy, business, and investing, etc. And sometimes I play uh, uh, some puzzle games on my mobile to keep my brain active, like Sudoku or some other puzzles. And then other times I just make calls to friends and family, discussing some life events or some topics we are commonly interested in, etc. Yeah.
Wonderful. Ashok, we have taken up 30 minutes of our interaction time. I know it is Thanksgiving time in the US, and you are visiting your brother. I would not like to keep you away from your personal time. Thank you so much from myself and from all of us here at the Physics Chamber in Cochin, in Kerala, and all the hundreds of regular viewers of our channels on the social media. Thank you so much for spending your time and sharing your valuable insights, and wish you all the very best. And may Google and all the projects that you do bring the very best out of you, Ashok, and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. To be honest, I didn't realize that it was already 30 minutes, but yeah, I wish all the luck to your students and all the JEE and NEET aspirants. And I always believe that luck favors the prepared mind, and preparation is something that is in our hands and in our control. So work hard, learn every day, and keep learning.